Hello and welcome to 360 Sports on Trust TV. I am Emmanuel Fashimi. We begin from the Under-20 Women's World Cup qualifier, where the Falconets actually, the first leg in Tanzania, Dar es Salaam precisely, ended in a 1-1 draw. And for the Falconets, they say they are going to wrap up the job at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium come a week's time now, because in the first half of that particular game, it ended on a goalless note affair. Then in the second half, just a few minutes into the second half, we got that first goal, and the Tanzania ladies were able to put their acts together and get the equalizer. It ended on a 1-1 draw, and for the Falconets, they will now keep a date with the ladies, the Tanzania ladies, right here in the city of Abuja at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium on the 19th of November. That is, let's say, a week, 6 days away from now. That encounter should be coming up to decide who goes through to Colombia 2024. That will be happening. That is the next year for the Under-20 Women's World Cup. The last time out, we got in Costa Rica 2022. We got to the knockout round and we lost to Netherlands. And it was a fantastic outing for these young ladies. And you know, a lot of that squad have made it to the Super Falcons, though they are still with the Falconets. The likes of Esther Oyinizede is with the Super Falcons, but back to join the Falconets in that particular encounter after the Super Falcons played against their counterpart at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium a few weeks ago, and she had to join up with the rest of the squad that left the shores of this country for Tanzania, and now they will be hitting the shores of this country on Tuesday to go straight into preparation for the reverse fixture that will be happening on the 19th. All right, I have Isaac Omediji all the way from Niger State, be there precisely, joining me on the show this lovely Monday in the city of Abuja. Isaac, welcome to 360 Sports. Straight up, the Falconets, I want to call them the Super Falconets. The Falconets played a 1-1 draw with Tanzania in Dar es Salaam on Sunday. Well, we still have a chance. The reverse fixture will be coming up in 6 days' time at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium here in the city of Abuja.
Yes, good morning, Mano, and thanks for having me again today. Kudos to the Falconets that they didn't lose, even though I expected that they should have gotten a victory, because I didn't see Tanzania as a threat to the Falconets. But as we have always said, especially on this show, that women football on the continent has continued to improve, and those who consider to be minors have started, improving, and they are making or laying a stake to qualifying for major events, and that's what we saw in that first leg. I trust the Falconets that they're going to complete the job in Abuja. They know what's at stake. They know our qualification is very important for them. We are built and meant for the World Cup, and we have the talent, and that is why we are supposed to qualify. We have the team, and we have the coach who also have the experience, who has been with the team for years. So this is not a new terrain for him, and the ladies, this is also not a new terrain for them. They have, as you said, some of them already have experience, even with the Spy Falcons, their senior women team, and some of them are playing in various good clubs where they are, in the first 11 with their various club sides. So these ladies, I believe, will definitely wrap up the job in Abuja. And this is something you might see not less than 3 goals to the Falconets of Nigeria.
Yes, so the Falconets of Nigeria. Now, looking at the pedigree of Christopher Danjuma, the coach of the side, like you mentioned, he has been with these guys. He understands what women's football is all about. Now, I actually saw some part of that game, and we were not too clinical in front of goal. I believe the likes of Ajakaye, the lady that went to the Under-17 Women's World Cup in India, in fact, she was fantastic in the World Cup in India. She's with this side. But I don't really know what happened, because in the first half, it ended on a goalless affair. So is it that we're not having crisis with our strikers?
I am not surprised when we don't convert our chances. If not for the likes of Victor Osimhen, these days, even the Super Eagles, we have problem with converting chances. The striking position has been a major problem for all grades of football in Nigeria. Even in the local league, we see players who are excelling in their various club sides, scoring goals, and then at the end of the season, we'll be celebrating 15 goals as highest goal scorer of the season, and we want to clap hands for such a striker. That is one aspect that we need to work on technically and tactically. And for the team, I believe the coach just needs to let them know that playing in Abuja, there will be one form of indirect pressure on them because they're playing at home and they need to win. And this might lead them to even missing so many other scoring chances because they will be willing to score goals as early as possible and score many goals. So the coach, Christopher Danjuma, who knows these girls very well, who has experience in women football, who has been there at this age grade for years, should be able to tell these girls to calm down. They need to calm down and take it a step at a time. If they rush the game and put themselves under pressure, they will lose so many other chances. And at the end of the day, they'll be under pressure and a counter might get them out. So we just have to tactically and technically set up the team in a way that it will put more pressure rather on the opponent and not on the Falconets. I believe that yes, we can solve our goal scoring problems depending on the coaches, depending on the players. Hope we're not just immediately converting a defender to a striker. We expect he or she to perform a miracle. But with the caliber of coaches we have, I believe that tactical acumen and the experience they have should be able to translate into the pitch of play. It's not just being a coach, but what do you do in a game that gives an advantage to you and cause a problem to your opponent? That is when you can say you are a coach that is sound. So I expect that Christopher Danjuma should be able to make decisions that will work in favor of the team. If the strikers are not scoring, the midfielders and defenders should score.
Okay, if the strikers are not scoring, the midfielders and defenders should score. That is what a coach should do. You should be able to build your team very well in a way when the goals are not coming from the strikers, then other departments, other players in the other departments of the pitch can get you goals. We've seen that with Pep Guardiola. Sometimes Pep Guardiola might not even play with a natural striker. He still gets the wins out of his players. Okay, let's leave that story. Isaac, you actually talked about these mentioned experience-wise about this particular story we are going to. Mamelodi Sundowns becoming the first that the money that Mamelodi Sundowns are going home with right now. I don't really want to say it on this show before, maybe after this show, somebody elsewhere will come and be asking me, you are Execomi DJ, for their own share because we are the one giving them the story. But I think Mamelodi Sundowns had to bring out their experience to bear in the return leg of the first leg of the African Football League. The first leg ended 2-1 in favor of Wydad Casablanca of Morocco. But the reverse fixture in the stadium was packed full. That is one thing that fans do when you are playing on the pitch. Now it ended 3-2 in favor of Mamelodi Sundowns. Massive one. Isaac, immediately after that game, I remember what you mentioned. You say experience-wise, I think Sundowns should be able to win. And eventually, I think they listened to you and they had to use their experience in beating Wydad Casablanca.
Yeah, yes, Emmanuel, you see, it was a great result for Sundowns. I believe that many people would have not penciled that Sundowns to have been the champion that we emerged since the beginning of this tournament. It's a newly introduced African Football League show, and with a lot of money. Even anybody that crashed out in the first round, and the quarterfinal stage rather, got lots of money for even playing those two-legged quarterfinal games against the same Wydad Casablanca, and they went all the way. Remember, Philippe just said that with what Wydad Casablanca played against Eyimba, they are worth winning the tie-up too. But this time they didn't do it. Kudos to Mamelodi Sundowns for going away and even scoring one away goal. Since we still adopt the two-legged final stuff on the continent of Africa, this gave them an opportunity, and the away goal counted for them. You see, in the beginning of that final, when that came up with a tactical way of playing, committing so many fouls, slowing down the pace of the game, not allowing the Sundowns team to play their own game. But Sundowns sucked that pressure initially and allowed Wydad to think they have started the game. And, wow, from nowhere, Mamelodi Sundowns came out and started, getting the goals. And one important thing that worked very well for them, man, is what you mentioned, the crowd, the voices from the crowd. The shout, the support from the crowd was mammoth. It was victorious crowd, a crowd that was like the 12th, 13th, and 14th player on the pitch for Mamelodi Sundowns. And against a North African team that are experts in winning tournaments of club side tournaments on the continent of Africa, seeing a Mamelodi Sundowns doing it is very impressive. And look at it. These guys have invested a lot. These guys have continued to improve. The South African League might not be as quality in terms of quality of players, but in terms of quality of play as a team, they are very good. Individually, you might not be able to pick out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players, but collectively as a team, they know where their strength lies and they work for it. But because of the money, they are going home with whooping huge sum of money. And this is just the beginning. The next round of African Football League that will be coming up, we see more money coming into that competition. My worry is, apart from Eyimba, are we going to get another nomination from Nigeria to represent us in that league?
That's a big question. Now, if you look at it over the years, I think South Africa football has come of age. Now, we know South Africa with rugby and cricket. When it comes to these two particular sports I just mentioned, it's like a religion in that country. But right now, they are shifting their attention to football. Now, the way they organize their league, superb. Is one of the best league in the world to me. And then in Africa, though they still rate the Egyptian league and the Moroccan league, Botola, the Egyptian league most usually ahead of the South African league. I think these two leagues are side by side apart. But if you look at it, I think that the MPFL should have been where the South African league is right now, because we started as in the development before this, because they concentrated on cricket and rugby, but now they've shifted attention to football, and it's paying off. So if you look at the whole thing, in that final, everybody thought Wada would come with, the North African teams with their antics. They love to delay, fall down, waste a lot of time, but it was not there. Look at the quality of play of that game. Now, moving forward, now let's leave Sundowns and quickly talk about our own. Because the first, our team, Aniba, went there and they crashed out. Couldn't even get to the semi-final. But now, a Sundowns team to the final. What can we really do? Because we need to wake up.
We need to wake up, and not just wake up to do the right thing. You might wake up and instead of even saying your prayer, the first thing you do is start pressing your phone. You start looking for gossip here and there. But we need to do the right thing. And the right thing is we must invest and plan. But the Sundowns South African League didn't get there because they started yesterday. No, they started years ago. This is result of years of investment, improvement in league, policies, branding, marketing. In terms of broadcast rights, you can't beat the broadcast rights of the South African League. You can't beat the quality of marketing and branding of the South African League. What are you saying? In terms of pay, most of the players are well paid. That's some of our players that go to Latvia, Cyprus, Moldova, that can play. No. As Nigerians, we must forget this label of giant of Africa that has continued to give us problems. We must continue to see we have to go back in terms of football now and see ourselves, especially football administration and management, and see ourselves as toddlers and learn from countries like South Africa and other North African countries that are doing it right. Get the right people in place, get the right management in place. And let me tell you, Emmanuel, you also know that most of the club sites in South Africa are not owned by government. They are privately owned. But here we have government running our club sites and we expect the best. No, we must gradually shift away. And that's why I was happy to even see a new privately owned club site, 4072 playing the NLF from Lagos. Okay, Sporting Lagos, Raymond Stars, 4072 in the nearest future. Gradually we'll be seeing the influence of private investors, private organizations owning football clubs, and this will help us.
Okay, private investors should come in, and then one thing is that the government should also create an avenue that the private investors will come and invest. It starts with the government, and it also starts with us, the administrators, so that they know what the right thing to do at the right time. And well, congratulations to Mamelodi Sundowns for playing in the final. Congratulations to all of the team, the likes of TP Mozambique, Enyimba International, Mamelodi Sundowns, the winners, and then Wydad Casablanca, Al Ahly of Egypt, all of the teams, the 8 teams that participated in the first African Football League competition, they did so well. Every other, even Enyimba that crashed out, also did well. And congratulations to Mamelodi Sundowns for winning the first edition of the African Football League. We pray the next edition, a Nigerian team will actually smile home. It might not be Enyimba, it might be any other team at all that will come back with a lot of dollars that is in this competition. And the next competition, like Isaac Omidiji mentioned, they are going to inject a lot of money. If I mention that amount on this show, well, you might want to go into football as a person. Okay, let's leave that story and come back home right now. There were actions in the Nigerian Premier Football League in Match Day 8. It's good that our league is now living up to its billing. In Match Day 8, there were super action, and it was all interesting all around in all of the match venues in Nigeria. And the MPFL, I can tell you, is a league to watch right now. If you've not watched any game in the MPFL, then you are missing out. Don't just watch the Chelseas and the rest of them in this world. Also watch the likes of Doma United, Bendel Insurance, Enyimba of Aba, Sporting Lagos, Lobby Stars of Makurdi. These are teams that are doing well in the Nigerian Premier League. Okay, let's look at the results of Match Day 8 in the Nigerian Premier Football League. There was one match on Saturday. Doma United beat Akwa United 1-0 at home. It was a stadium packed full at the Pantami Stadium in Gombe. Sunshine Stars and Rangers International. Rangers continue to create history in the Nigerian Premier League this season. They've scored in every away game this season. In Match Day 8, it was 2-2 against Sunshine Stars of Akure. Kano Pillars picked Enyimba 1-0. Plateau United beat Abia Warriors 3-1. And Kwara United and Shooting Stars of Ibadan ended it on a 1-1 affair. Remo Stars put 4 past Gombe United 4-0 right there at their stadium, their home ground in Ikene. Lobby Stars beat Sporting Lagos 1-0. Kasuna United also beat former champions Rivers United 1-0. And Niger Tornadoes and Bendel Insurance, far away from Benin, they went there to Niger and they played out goalless draw. That is where Isaac Omidiji is. That is in Niger State, and it ended on a goalless affair. Before we have the table, Isaac, quickly, I want you to react to some of these results. Most especially Rangers. This season, every away game they've gone to, they've been able to score a goal or two.
And that is a huge improvement that Fidelis Lechuku has brought to that team. But before I talk more about Rangers, I want to say Nigeria Tornadoes, unfortunately, should be playing in Minna. But fortunately, they are playing home away from home whenever they are playing their home games. They are playing in Kaduna at the Ahmadu Bello Stadium because the Bako Kotagura Stadium in Minna was not satisfied fit enough to host the MPFL game. So they are playing away. They still just started getting renovation from the state government. And hopefully in the next 6-7 weeks, if it is up to standard, the team will be coming back to Minna to play. So these guys are always traveling for both home and away games. You can see the kind of problem they are facing, and you expect them to get results. And for Rangers, as you said, Fidelis Lechuku brought in a new lease of life to that team. The new management put in place also brought in a new lease of life. The players are happy that the coaches are doing the right thing. And when the coaches and the players are having the same kind of thought and synergy, it translates to the pitch of play. And kudos to them that they continue to score away from home, whether they win or not.
Okay, whether they win or not is a good one for Fidelis Lechuku and all of the teams that played over the weekend. Okay, let's quickly have the table. Let's look at the table, how teams are standing after Match Day 8. Though some teams have played lesser games than others. We have Lobby Stars who retained their top position after 8 games now. They have 17 points with 5 goal difference. Remo Stars have 15 points after 7 games. They are on the second position. Enugu Rangers is on the third position with 14 points, having the same number of of goal difference with Lobby Stars, who are topping 5-5. Then Shooting Stars of Ibadan is on the 4th position with 14 points. Plateau United occupies the 5th position with 13 points. Bendel Insurance is on the 6th position with 12 points. Abia Warriors is on the 7th position with 12 points and -2 goal difference. Kano Pillars is on the 8th position with -2 goal difference and 12 points. Sporting Lagos is on the 9th position with 11 points. And then Doma United occupies the 10th position with 11 points also and 3 goal difference. Let's look at the flip side, the second side of the table, where Katsina United is on the 11th position with 11 points. Perfect record and perfect number. 12th position is Rivers United FC with 9 points, and Sunshine Stars is on the 13th position with 9 points. And Kwara United is on the 14th position with 9 points. Gombe United is on the 15th position with 9 points. Niger Tornadoes is on the 16th position with 8 points, and Enyimba of Aba is on the 17th position with 7 points. They've played lesser games than other teams. Aqua United is on the 18th position with 7 points, and Bayelsa United is on the 6th position with is on the 19th position, I beg your pardon, with 6 points. And Heartland FC of Owerri continues to languish at the bottom of the table, occupying the 20th position with 4 points and -4 goal difference for the Nigerian Premier Football League. Isaac Odmidije, if you look at the league so far this season, I think it has lived up to its billing. I don't know if you agree with me.
Well, gradually it is living up to its billings. Unfortunately, that we have seen some some of the matches being negotiated, and thank God that the NFF as well as the referees, the team is looking into that. And even over the weekend, I saw some of the games, I saw some of the goals out, and I was like, no, you don't need a VAR to tell you that this goal shouldn't be ruled out. You don't need a VAR to tell you that this particular goal should also count. So, you know, in terms of players' improvement, in terms of game, yes, we're seeing more quality play. But in terms of management by officials, it calls to question so many of their calls. But hey, thank God that that's been looked into, and the fact that we ever see some of these teams going away to get either a draw or a away victory speaks a lot of volume. Don't forget that before this week, Lobby Stars got away victory, and that's why they're currently top of the league, and they're doing very well. They've lost just a game this season, so it goes to show that the league is improving, and whoever thought that Lobby will be leading, we're going to have given Lobby Stars a chance, but they're currently topping the league. And do you even think that just before, about 2 weeks before the commencement of the league, their coach, Abaka Bala, was asked to go, and this time around, they are still doing well? Speaks volume about the team itself.
Yes, speaks volume about the team. Okay, let's leave the Nigerian Premier League and go straight to Europe. Let's start with the EPL, where there were actions over the weekend. Fantastic display. I'll start with the game of Chelsea. I've always been positive about that team, and they're actually living to that. Now, these are some of the results of the EPL games over the weekend. Wolves defeated Tottenham Hotspur. In 2 games, they lost that game at the winning position, and towards the dying minutes, back-to-back, Tottenham have lost 2 games now. 2-1 against them from Wolves. Arsenal beat Burnley 3-1, red carded to Fabio Vieira in that game. Crystal Palace and Everton defeated Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park 3-2. Manchester United beat Luton Town 1-0 at Old Trafford. Bournemouth beat Newcastle United 2-0 at home. Aston Villa trashed Fulham 3-1. Brighton and Sheffield United played at a 1-1 draw, and Liverpool beat Brentford 3-0. West Ham United and Nottingham Forest 3-2 it ended. Late goal from West Ham United against Nottingham Forest. Taiwo Awoniyi getting a goal in that particular game. And Chelsea and Manchester City, fantastic game. 4-4 it ended. 8 goals thriller at the Stamford Bridge. Kudos to Pochettino, kudos to the young lad at Chelsea. And let's have the table before Isaac Omidiji will react to that. Man City is topping the table despite that draw with 28 points. Liverpool is on the 2nd position after that win over Brentford. They have 27 points. Arsenal is on the 3rd position with 27 points. Tottenham remains 4th position with 26 points, and then Aston Villa is on the 5th position with 25 points. Man United pushed up to the 6th position with 21 points after that win against Luton Town. Newcastle remains 7th after that loss, 7th position with 20 points. Brighton have 19 points on the 8th position. West Ham and Chelsea pushing to 10th position. That is where they finished last season, and they are still occupying that position pretty well right now with 16 points. Let's look at the flip side of the table quickly. Let's look at the flip side of the table. Brentford is on this 11th position with 16 points. Nottingham Forest 15th position. Fulham 16th position. Bournemouth 17th position. And Burnley continue to languish at the bottom of the table with 4 points on the 20th position. Isaac, quickly, just one sentence, describe Chelsea performance against Manchester City yesterday.
Resilient, fantastic, and confident. They were so confident, they were so resilient, and they believe they can get it done against the best. And they've always get it done against the best so far this season. Their problem is against the teams.
Okay, they actually did very well. If you ask me, I was rooting for Chelsea to win that game, not because of anything, but if you look at the youthful side of Chelsea, I think they did well against Pep Guardiola. And Pep Guardiola will always remember Pochettino. It's not always easy for him to get the better of Pochettino. Okay, let's leave the EPL game and go straight to the German Bundesliga. Harry Kane cannot continue to stop scoring, also creating record. Now he broke the record of Lewandowski in Bayern after how many games, getting 17 goals for Harry Kane. Let's look at the German Bundesliga table quickly before Isaac will talk about Harry Kane in just 1 second. Bayern Munich sit at the top of the position with 29 points. Bayer Leverkusen do have a game in hand. They didn't play. They have 28 points. That is Bayer Leverkusen on the second position. Stuttgart is on the third with 24 points. Borussia Dortmund is on the fourth position with 1 point. RB Leipzig is on the fifth position with 20 points. Hoffenheim have 19 points, occupying the sixth position. Freiburg, Borussia Mönchengladbach is on the ninth position with 13 points. Freiburg on the eighth position, and then Augsburg is on the 10th position with 13 points and -3 goal difference. Let's have the flip side of the table, the second side of the table quickly. We have Wolfsburg on the 11th position with 13 points, and Werder Bremen is on the 12th position with 10 points. Heidenheim is on the 13th position with 10 points, and Mainz 05 is on the 16th position with 7 points. Union Berlin is on the 70th position with 6 points, and Cologne is on the 18th position with 6 points and -14 goal difference. Isaac, let me just allow you quickly to react to Harry Kane's breaking record in the German Bundesliga.
Yes, currently is the best striker in the world. He has continued to prove that. He has proven that in the EPL with England, with the English national team, and now in the German Bundesliga. He has continued to score goals upon goals and break records upon records. 17 goals in the first 11 games in the Bundesliga, betters that of Robert Lewandowski, who scored 16 goals in his first 11 games. So I see this guy breaking more records, and at the end of the season, will be probably one of the best strikers, if not the best strikers in Europe.
Okay, let's quickly give you this last one. Isaac will not have the chance to react today. Manchester City are keen on Chelsea's Reece James, and he was fantastic against Chelsea in that game they played on Sunday. Okay, that is where we leave it on 360 Sports on Trust TV. Isaac, thanks for joining me on the show this lovely Monday morning.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel.
Okay, that is it on the program. I am Emmanuel Fashemi saying thanks for watching.